Welcome everyone, Andy Carlson here. Another great day of sniper scalping. It is Monday, August 13th in the dead of summer, but we're excited to report some quality trading in the midst of the deadness of what generally is August. Can I get a sound check? Make sure you guys are hearing me okay. Let's go ahead and dive in. I got a couple of charts side by side. I thought we'd go ahead and keep this session brief today, but go ahead and look at gold, the gold opportunities that were available since the 9:30 NYSE open, as well as opportunities in the DAX. Prior to the 9:30 NYSE open, we had just major consolidation, sideways chopping gold, but then we broke out nicely, and you can see the Sniper Pulse Extreme black line cross indicator firing. And what we're looking for down here, for those of you that may be watching this recording the first time, you see how our black line is down here in the gray area? Well, once it crosses this white gap and gets to the second colored line, as long as we have an up-close bar, that's where our signal is going to fire. And you can see, boom, we're long, nice winner. As we continue a little bit higher, we top out. We're at a minor DPTL resistance area, and we get this market rolling down. Gorgeous opportunity for a sell. You can see the black line is trading up here in the colored lines area, and then it crosses the white little gap, gets to the second gray line or lower, and boom, that initiates our auto signal calling indicator to fire short. Boom, gorgeous run to the downside. We consolidate a little bit, but not enough to produce a long trade, which is awesome. And then we get a third follow-through, third trade, and a nice follow-through short again. You can see we touched the first blue or colored line, and that reset us to be able to get another short, but we didn't get up to the second colored line to produce a long. And then black line dropped again to -2 or more. Short again, nice winner. And that's the extent of the trades for gold. So let's go ahead and drop the gold chart, and we'll expand our DAX chart here and look at the trades that occurred from 9:30 on. One thing I want to mention in gold, we had a sniper owner post in the room that he got long on one of the gold signals, the first gold signal I think it was, and he paid for his trip to come visit us in Las Vegas. We're having a Las Vegas seminar in the end of September, and this is one of our overseas traders who's coming all the way over to enjoy Las Vegas seminar with us, and the profits that he made on one of those trades in gold this morning paid for his Vegas seminar. Gotta love it. Fun to hear that. All right, so here's the DAX. Again, absolutely crystal clear and solid morning of trading for the DAX. The NYSE opens at 9:30, and we get our black line down here crossing the white little gap, getting to +2 or more, produces a buy trade. Now, what I personally like to do as far as stop placement when it comes to the Pulse Extreme, we teach a lot of different ways, standard stop prices and different things. But what I'm getting more and more comfortable with doing is not having a static stop, but rather letting the Pulse Extreme tell me where to place my stop. And what I'm looking for is the Pulse Extreme to move against me for 2 bars in a row. Boom, boom, happened right there. And then what I like to do is put my stop 3 or 4 ticks below that price bar. So in this case, when this bar closed, let me just use this arrow. When this green bar right there closed, I would have placed my stop 3 to 4 ticks below there, and that's where I would have let myself get stopped out. Now, I would have gotten long on this trade at 90, 40, 50, and my stop would have been at 90, 35. So we're looking at a 9-tick stop, I believe, if I did my math correctly there, using that strategy. This strategy, guys, will keep you in trades so much more effectively. Now, albeit you will have some bigger losses. So your win percentage will increase if one chooses to use this type of a stop strategy. Your win percentage will increase, but your average size of your loss will also increase. Now, what I do in situations like this trade continued to look good. There was a lot that looked good about this. Is I would have added on to this trade. So as we got into the trade and we got 6 to 8 ticks pullback, I would have added another contract there. So the second contract would have had a very small stop. The initial contract had a reasonable size stop, but then obviously you can see the reward that's available. So we'll talk more about that in the days to come, but that's how I personally am managing my stop much more often now, is letting the pulse tell me rather than just using a static, I'm going to use an 8-tick stop or a 6-tick stop or a 10 or 12-tick stop, but rather letting the market tell us. So one of the things we saw here as we're deciding whether we're going to stay in this trade for bigger profits is we put in a slightly higher low pivot on our action line. We had a lower low right here as signified by the blue arrow and a slightly higher low pivot. When that occurs, the odds favor us getting a cross of the moving average fan. We didn't get a complete cross, we got a partial cross, but nonetheless it gave us a lot of profit available to the upside. Then we continue on. You can see we get our Sniper Extreme Blackline cross signal calling arrow auto-generated there. And notice how the black line is in the colored area and then crosses the white gap, gets to -2 or more. That shoots out the signal. So using the same concept that we talked about, we would have one move against us on this bar, then flat, and then another move against us right here. So my stop would be placed 3 to 4 ticks above this bar right here. And then even though the pulse moves up one more time, it's actually a down close, so we would not have hit our stop. Big easy winner. Moving down in here, very counter trend trade, but who can tell me why they think, you know, this is a pretty decent trade to be going long on? First of all, we got a combination of our pulse and our standard sniper. But the other big thing is this triple pivot divergence that we have happening. Notice how our OS line is moving up while the price action's moving down. That's upside divergence. We got triple pivot double divergence, and then we got basically a flat price action pivot and another huge move up in our OS line. So we've got a lot of divergence happening there, making that combination of the standard sniper and pulse extreme trade a decent trade, even though it's very counter trend. Of course, we're going to love getting short again on trend continuation in the direction of the short-term trend when our black pulse line crosses from the colored area, jumps the white gap to -2 or more. Auto signal calling indicator fires off. Nice winner. Again, we base here and set similar to what we just saw. Another triple pivot divergence. Boom. This signal fired before that third pivot and the double divergence. So if you want to be a little bit more conservative, you certainly could have waited to get the action line tipping up and to form that third pivot and the double divergence. But aggressive traders were certainly rewarded. You can see the black line did not even hook down at all. So we would have stayed in that trade. We would have added on once it pulled back about 8 ticks. So we would have had a value entry even. Gorgeous big winner. All right, and then we continue on as this market started to crumble a little bit. Look at these additional gorgeous wins. The black line is up in the colored area, crosses the white gap, gets to the second gray line, down close, we're short. Similar situation to what we saw earlier. We get one move up in the black line, then the second move up, so our stop would be placed above that bar. We would not have gotten stopped out. However, we would have averaged into the trade. We would have gotten a value entry. Not a huge win there on that trade, but a win nonetheless. And then this entry, gorgeous. We did not get sucked into a long, just issued another automated short, gorgeous, gorgeous trade. And then we catch the low. How cool is the Sniper Extreme Pulse? We're coming down like a rocket, start to put in that upside divergence, gives us a little bit more confidence. Listen, if you don't want to catch a falling knife, I have no problem with you not getting long down here, waiting for our action line to start to slope up and getting long here. There's nothing wrong with that. A little bit more conservative, you would still have a huge win. But if you did get long here and you were using the black line to set your stop, we would have never had any trouble at all. We would have gotten in here. We would have averaged into the trade as it moved down here at value. And then boom, off to the races. So there were only 3 trades issued in gold from 9:30 to the present. And in the DAX, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DAX trades from 9:30 to the present. All nice winning trades for the Sniper Extreme Blackline Cross. So if you were trading those 2 markets, you would have been 10-0 today. Not bad for a dead summer Monday. Monday in the summer. Pretty cool. All right, guys, that is a wrap. I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying your summer. Put in a little extra work, guys. We've been focusing on for the last 4 to 6 weeks, and we'll continue to throughout the remainder of the summer here, helping you guys learn to become traders and not just focusing on being a robot. Clearly, there are days, today happened to be some of those days where being a robot would work just fine. But take your game to the next level. You'll be glad that you did. And you know what? It's not as hard as you might anticipate. You just add a couple of market concepts like DPTLs, DAlts, understanding how to adjust your settings during different market conditions, learning to trade with the action line rather than just when the signal arrow pops up. Just a few basic concepts can take you so far. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions at all. You know we're always here for you. Take good care, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, everyone.